The Sigma male is a man who has the courage to stand alone, one who does not conform to societal expectations or traditional definitions of masculinity. He is strong-minded and independent, with a quiet self-confidence that sets him apart from other men. He doesn't seek the spotlight or show off because he knows his value and doesn't need to prove it to anyone. He is comfortable in the shadows and enjoys observing everything around him. They prefer to rely solely on their own strength and resources, rather than always waiting for help. Despite his advantages, there are some drawbacks to this lifestyle. Without wasting any more time, here are 9 huge downsides of being a Sigma male. 1. His unwillingness to conform can be seen as a threat. Being a Sigma male isn't always seen in a positive light in a culture that values conformity and uniformity. Society often views those who choose to stand out from the crowd in any way as strange, different, or even dangerous. This can lead to misunderstandings and negative judgments about one's character. While some may admire the strength and independence of Sigma, others may be put off by his distinctness. The ability to stand out can be a double-edged sword, as it can make you stand out in a positive way, but also make you a target of ridicule or judgment. You must be emotionally strong and have a thick skin in order to withstand the negative opinions of others. Many people have fallen victim to the pressures of conformity and given up their independence to fit in, especially in environments where individuality is seen as a weakness. While this may be a necessary sacrifice for some, it can harm the Sigma male's life. 2. He has difficulty trusting others. The Sigma man's natural skepticism can make it difficult to trust others, even if he knows them well. His unique perspective makes it hard for him to understand why someone would take an action that seems illogical to him. He may also fear that people will try to manipulate or deceive him, and he won't be able to see it until it's too late. While this kind of caution is understandable, it can be a burden if he never gives anyone the benefit of the doubt. He should strive to trust his instincts and give people a chance, as long as he is also aware of potential risks or pitfalls. By staying open-minded but still vigilant, he can build trusting relationships without compromising his own safety. The problem is when a Sigma has been burned by trusting someone. It can be difficult for him to open up and fully trust again, especially if it was someone close to him. In this case, the best solution is to take things slow and only open up when he feels comfortable enough. While it's hard to fully trust someone after being let down, it's crucial not to isolate yourself and remember that not everyone is out to hurt you. 3. He could force logic on himself and others. The Sigma male's rational and analytical nature can lead him to put too much emphasis on logic and reason. This could result in him imposing his own views of what is right or wrong onto the situation, even if it may not fit the circumstances. While this kind of thinking can be helpful when making a well-informed decision, it can be detrimental when used to discredit someone else's opinion or point of view. This can cause the Sigma man to be overly critical and judgmental of himself and others. While he doesn't intend to be this way, accepting that not everything has a logical explanation or solution can be difficult. By embracing ambiguity and accepting that there isn't always a single right answer, he can foster a greater understanding of himself and others. Using logic to make an informed decision is fine, but Sigma male should be aware of when he is forcing it onto himself or others. Sometimes the best answers come from listening to his intuition and feelings, not just logic. 4. He easily sees fakeness in people. Seeing the fake in people can be both a blessing and a curse. On the one hand, it can help him avoid bad influences and dangerous situations, as he can easily recognize when someone is not being genuine. On the other hand, seeing how many people fake their emotions and intentions can make him cynical and distrustful. You might think that being able to tell when someone is fake would always be an asset, but sometimes it's better not to know. Sigma male must find the balance between using his intuition to protect himself and being open enough to give people a chance. He should also recognize that some people may hide their true feelings for good reasons and can be valuable allies despite appearances. Of course, he should never let anyone take advantage of him, but it's important to be aware that there are different kinds of deception, and not all are malicious. While it's really hard to weigh the pros and cons of seeing through people, sometimes it pays off to have a critical eye. 5. His outside-the-box thinking can cause tension. His ability to think outside the box gives him an advantage in many different situations. This allows him to come up with creative solutions and find new ways of doing things that would be overlooked by most people. However, this can also lead to conflict, as others may not agree with his ideas and think they are too radical or dangerous. While it is necessary to be open-minded and consider different approaches, Sigma male must be careful not to let his own ideas become a source of tension. He must find the balance between using his unique perspective to come up with fresh solutions and respecting others' opinions. Otherwise, this can lead to misunderstandings and unwanted conflict. Unfortunately, these conflicts can be hard to avoid when you are surrounded by people who don't think in the same way as you. Alpha males may take advantage of this and try to manipulate the situation in their favor. This is also why many Sigmas have left traditional employment and started their own businesses, as it gives them more control over the direction of their work. The Sigma man is an independent thinker who can be a force for good both in his personal life and the outside world if he manages to navigate around all of these potential pitfalls. With the right attitude and approach, he can unlock his true potential and make a real difference. 6. People treat him like a loner. Sigma male is usually a lone wolf, preferring to go his own way and relying on his own strength whenever possible. The fact that he can be so independent can be intimidating for some people who aren't used to it. They may treat him as an outsider or someone who doesn't fit in with the rest of the group. The reality is that Sigma can be just as social and friendly as anyone else, but he chooses to go his own way rather than follow what everyone else is doing. This can make it difficult to make friends, as people may not know how to approach him or be put off by his independence. This can be good in some situations, as he can use this to his advantage by surrounding himself with people who share his values and outlook on life. While people see the introverted Sigma man as a loner, he can also be a great team player and a valuable asset to any group. 7. People may doubt him because of his unconventional approach to life. People are usually cautious when dealing with the unknown, and Sigma's unique approach to life is no exception. His ability to think for himself and question traditional norms often makes people doubt his decisions and capabilities. While this can be frustrating, Sigma male must find a way to stay true to himself without letting others' opinions cloud his judgment. He must also use his intelligence and practical experience to prove that his unconventional approach can be effective. But they won't do it by words, but rather by results. The traditional alpha type may be respected for his power and status, but the Sigma man can gain respect through his intelligence and problem-solving ability. Not following the crowd is sometimes seen as a risk, but taking risks can bring great rewards. As long as Sigma remains confident and focused on his goals, his success will often convince others to take him seriously without needing status or power. The traditional leadership style of the alpha male may be respected, but the Sigma man's approach is increasingly valued in today's world. People start to realize that being successful doesn't necessarily require conforming to traditional rules and expectations. 8. His independence can be mistaken for arrogance. This is because he isn't afraid to share his opinion and stand up for himself, especially when everyone around him tries to do the wrong thing. This can make him appear obnoxious or too sure of himself, even when he is trying to do the right thing. His lack of reliance on others for approval and validation can be seen as a sign that he doesn't care about what anyone thinks of him. But this is a misjudgment. In reality, he doesn't need the external validation most people require. While being misunderstood is a part of life, it can be difficult to deal with when people assume the wrong thing about you due to your independent attitude. Even worse, these assumptions can seriously affect many aspects of life. What may seem like harmless misunderstandings can lead to lost opportunities, hurt feelings, and damaged relationships. By maintaining an open and humble attitude, Sigma must find the courage to stand tall and keep going despite any misunderstanding or adversity. 9. He overthinks things. Sigma male tends to analyze every situation too much and can easily get stuck in a cycle of overthinking. This can lead to procrastination and indecision, which prevents him from taking action and achieving his goals. To break this cycle, he must learn to recognize when enough is enough and be willing to move forward despite any uncertainty. This takes practice and a bit of courage, but it can be done. Overthinking things can sometimes be helpful, but too much analysis without action can be counterproductive. While Sigma should still take his time to think things through and make sure he's making the right decisions, he must also know when it's time to take a leap of faith. As long as he is confident in his ability to trust himself and has taken the necessary steps to prepare, it's all right to just go for it. Otherwise, this could lead to frustration and stress, making it hard for him to move forward. Analyzing every detail can be an excellent way to get an accurate picture of the situation, but it should never prevent you from taking action. By understanding this balance, the Sigma man can use his existing skills constructively instead of letting them become a hindrance.